Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Sean Patton's here. So my producer Dan is saying on this drinking show, you guys get ossified. He says it's great.
Yeah,
you guys get ossified drunk. Like what?
Yeah,
like what is it? You just drink? You sit there and you just start drinking?
There's a Esquire magazine has a gentleman named Dave Wondrich who writes an annual list called Best Bars in America. He gets paid to just travel and discover the best bars in America.
Right.
And he's like when I met him, when we were about to meet him, I'm like, I hope he's not some Esquire-y, like well-dressed, like only drink Manhattan. No, he's like your uncle. He's
Only
just
drink Manhattan.
Yeah, just slicked hair, goatee, love the Misfits. You know, like the kind of guy you want finding bars for you.
Yeah.
So we just go to all these cities and we go to these bars on his list. And Jay, my co-host, actually knows a lot about bars and craft cocktails and things of that nature.
What, was he a bartender?
Yeah, he comes from a bar. And I'm just like, I'll drink it. I'm just color commentary, and I hope not to say anything too stupid.
It sounds like fun.
It is, but the worst part we're just discovering is there'll be like 3 hours between bars sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's when you get a nice happy buzz going in one bar, and then you're just like,
well, you got to keep drinking almost to keep it going.
And we've done that, and then you find you get too wasted for the second bar, and you're like, I can't even ask a question.
Dude, I drank on TV before. One time when Queer Eye for the Straight Guy became a big hit, Howard sent me out with those guys to get a makeover, and I started drinking, and it just was disastrous. The fact that I still have a career is astonishing.
The Milwaukee, Chicago, San Francisco.
Drunken.
Yeah. I didn't think you guys were going to survive. There's a shot of you, like
what are you
in
drinking?
the street, that I thought you were going to die.
What are you drinking?
I mean, we're drinking real. But I mean, like Jay and I have talked about faking it. Yeah. We're like, we should fake it, and then we get into it. Like, no, don't fake it. Be real in the moment.
People will understand.
People will get it.
If you fake it, the people. Put it this way: the people you want to be your fans will know.
Exactly.
The people who can be faked out, you don't want watching the show.
We do not fake it. And in Chicago specifically, they have something there called Malort, which
What's that?
It's just it's death in a bottle.
Malort.
Malort. It's a Chicago only. It's like there are bars that have trivia night where if you lose, your whole table has to drink Malort. It's something you buy for someone if you hate them.
What's the proof on Malort?
Probably not much stronger than just 80 proof. Probably.
So you know what we've been
just
talking
tastes
about?
Like
you know what we've been talking about lately? Absinthe. Like
I've had
I drank that once in London.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how nutty I got on that absinthe stuff.
Did you really?
I drank it in London, and I had
it's potent.
I drank it too. I
had a very weird hallucinatory type of experience.
Well, that's what I was hoping for when I drank it. And we got the real.
Well, it affects people. I mean, like acid, and people will get affected differently.
We got the real absinthe from somewhere in Eastern Europe, shipped to us. This other guy on my team got it shipped to him. And we drank it all night, and I was hoping for something like that.
Have you ever tried that?
We drank. There's an absinthe bar in Brooklyn. We drank at it last week. It's the real thing. The thing is,
with real wormwood absinthe.
I thought it wasn't allowed here.
How did they pull that
It's
off?
regulated now. It just wasn't regulated for years, so the alcohol content was so high, people would pound it and be like, "I see my mother," because they were so hammered.
I see my mother.
But like now, it's,
maybe that's because in your mom's basement.
right. You live with your mom.
Yeah.
You loser. No, now it's regulated, so like it's not. The potency's not as high. It's just really.
But they use wormwood.
The real thing, man. They drip it on the sugar cube.
This was the year 1999 or 2000.
It's in Brooklyn, Williamsburg.
In London. 99 or 2000 or 01, one of those early 2000s, late 90s, in London, and it was not regulated booze. It was like they warned me because I said, "Listen, I've been through the ringer. I've done drugs." They said, "No, listen, this is the real stuff," and I was affected by it. Wow. And it was a good time for a while, but then I got a little freaked out.
Like how?
Oh, yeah?
What?
Paranoid.
Yeah.
Very
and
paranoid.
What were you seeing? Just colors and.
Just like I kept thinking people were coming to get me, and I wasn't going to be let out of London. And I'd be in some.
Sorry.
Like no.
I'm
like
trapped
I'd be in some,
London.
I would be like English jail or something.
Oh, like that's
like really like people. I was going to be captured. Like my freedom was in danger.
That's why I don't smoke weed, because I'll think that here. I'll be like, I'll get trapped in English jail.
Well, you know what? I've done so many strong drugs, and the worst I've ever had, worst drug experience I've ever had is weed.
Weed, man.
California, the chronic stuff, orange it was. Some kid gave it to me, and it's the worst. I was back in my hotel, the Oakwood Apartments in North Hollywood. I was standing on my head on the ottoman trying to get the evil out of me. And it was just weed. I've done heroin. I've done coke,
Man. I'm sorry you went through that. I mean, I just get it to the point.
No,
where
you're not.
I am sorry. I'll be like, how do we know numbers go in this order? Where's the documentation that proves?
No, that's the beginning of time. Where it starts?
Yeah.
Where's it going to end?
That's those sort of questions. Who invented the alphabet?
Existentialism. Exactly.
That sort of. But like,
when
I
you
don't
think about it. Who did?
It's just one dude in a cave. Start talking. Start writing it down.
In a cave.
Start scratching.
You're
on walls.
blowing my mind in a cave.
But I get really jealous and envious of like friends of mine
I've
who
happened
can
without
just
drugs,
smoke
Frank.
it. What's yeah?
Without drugs. No, you're right. People
Just
smoke
pound
it
it.
every day.
And they're fine.
Yeah.
Like, let's go see her.
But what was the difference? What was the difference? Well, absinthe. What happened to you with that? I mean, you're able to deal with
we just got hammered.
Wasted.
I just felt real. It was like one glass, and I was like,
not
all right,
an hallucinated.
I'm 2 a.m. drunk right now, and it's noon.
Wow.
You know, but that's
You didn't
no, I
hallucinate at all.
No.
John, you said you
I
drank
didn't.
it.
I tried.
And
I
nothing
tried
happened.
to hallucinate, and
Well,
we did.
maybe you were in the wrong mindset.
sugar, and I was trying to be in the right. You're right. I mean,
Maybe you were trying too hard.
it was
and
legit
spice.
stuff, the fancy wormwood stuff, and we stayed up all night using the sugar, doing
See, but
whatnot. But I did stay up all night. I mean, I stayed up. I did not sleep, and I didn't feel like I needed to sleep. And the next day at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon,
you needed to sleep.
no, I stayed up the
You
whole way
did.
through. The next day at 3 p.m., we're like, whoa, it's 3 p.m. We didn't sleep last night.
See,
so maybe
there's something
that
about
was
athletes,
something
man. A
hallucinatory.
lot of my friends in high school were athletes because I was just the guy they'd bring around who would hump TVs and couches at
Well,
parties.
that's fun.
You know, the
Yeah.
guy that they picked on me, but no one else could. But I had friends who were athletes we had shroom tea once, and the guy just pounded the whole thing. He's like, I can take it, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
We
I
all
had
took
my
like
buddy.
a sip, and we're like scared of circles for 3.5 hours, and he's fine.
My
You know?
buddy Joey Rotten, we used to call him.
Yeah.
Joey Rotten drank DT, Angel Dust Tea. They smoked the dust, and then they took the packets that the dust came in and put it in a big thing of hot water, like used them as tea bags, stirred it, little whiskey, chugged it, and this kid thought he could fly. We had to take him. He passed out. We got him to the hospital. Saved his life. I saved his life. He wrote me a letter years later, thanking me for saying on the Seaside Boardwalk in the summer of '85. Joey Rotten drank DT, and I had to run to the Seaside Heights Boardwalk because no cell phones to find a phone that worked and got the cops there.
Wow.
Yeah, he almost died.
I thought you were going to tell us how he got the name Rotten.
Well,
He
it's
ate
from
a
Johnny
bunch of
Rotten.
rotten.
Johnny
Oh,
Rotten.
Johnny Rotten.
He took
okay.
it from Johnny Rotten. His name was Joey Rotten. He thought that was the coolest thing ever. Joey Rotten. Yeah. Take a break. Come back. More Sean Patton after that. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. I think Sean Patton's here.
Yeah.
And where are you going to be next, Indiana?
In Bloomington, Indiana.
Bloomington, Indiana.
The Comedy Attic, April 17th and 19th.
What's the name of the Esquire show?
Best bars in America.
That I'm going to watch. I can't
June
wait.
10th.
June 10th. Check that out.
Drunk.
Now, how many episodes have you done of that so far?
We just did a Manhattan and a Brooklyn, and then we're starting tomorrow, flying to Portland tomorrow. We do Portland, Austin, Boston, New Orleans, L.A.
Oh, my God.
So is absinthe the craziest thing that you've drunk on that show?
Absinthe's definitely the strongest thing I've ever. It hits you. I mean, I still think the nastiest, craziest thing. Malort's like liquid regret.
Is that only Chicago?
it's
What's it
only
made
in
out
Chicago.
of, Dan? What is Malort?
Is it made out of the sweat of Cubs players?
dock worker semen. It's
Made out of Ernie Banks' sweat.
something. If his sweat is disgusting.
It's just disappointment.
Did he eat nothing but bologna?
Well, no, you're talking about nothing but disappointment. Like
Yeah. It tastes like, why?
Steve Stone's sweat.
It's like a Swedish thing, right? They brought over.
Hey, this stuff is.
Could be. All I know is there's more than one place that makes Malort in Chicago.
I went out last night with Stevie Stone. I had a couple of shots
It's
of
kind of
Malort.
like it's been likened to like absinthe.
Malort.
Absinthe, degenerate, drug-riddled younger cousin.
Jepson's
Yeah.
Malort.
Jepson's.
I just had some
Yeah,
Malort
must
over.
be Swedish.
Just had some Malort over at Gibson's. I'll tell you what.
Wait, what are you doing right now?
Harry Carey. I'll tell you what. This is Malort. I got a shot of Malort I just had on Russ Street last night.
We could have 30 bottles of wine.
Oh.
And Harry,
It's
Here we go.
The Swedish word Malort is the Swedish word for wormwood, which is the same
Wormwood.
thing
Right.
in Chartreuse
There you go.
in
It's nasty.
absinthe. Wow.
We could have 30 bottles of wine, and Harry would always want to end the night with banana daiquiri.
Let's have I'll tell you what. Let's have a banana daiquiri.
Malort is
That's in case you're wondering, that's my bobblehead. That's the stone. That's Steve Stone in my head.
Dude.
Malort at Gibson's. Who's with me?
Malort is the absent sex offender younger brother.
Here's the sweat of a bunch of cum players. The disappointing sweat from the 1984 and 69 season. It's just poured into one big bottle of Malortness.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. And it's nothing to Sean Patton coming up.
Drink it, did it.
So I mean, we were talking earlier about the fact that you're either on the wagon or you're on. You know,
You're on or off.
do you struggle with this? I mean, is this something that you feel like may become a problem?
No, I mean, for the most part, they also, we've, in the 2 episodes we've shot, we still got 6 more. Hopefully it doesn't become a problem. Yeah. It's just so, because that's the thing too, you start getting you get a little buzz on.
And you want to go.
Well, then you rap and you're like, all right, I should
now what?
Go take a bed.
That's what it's time to get some blow.
It's like, now I'm staying up. I mean, I got to be drunk for the show anyway.
I want to thank Dave Attell. He's a great man. I want to thank Steve Ranazizzi. Sean Patton, I want to thank you for being alive.
Thank you, sir. You
Go
too,
to see him and watch him on Drinking Beers. What's it called?
Best bars in America.
Best bars in America.
Love you.
June
Come back
10th.
anytime.
Thank you, Artie.
Sean Patton, I'm Howdy Cowdy. Back tomorrow.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.